I would like to get our meeting started. If we could all stand to pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next item is the roll call.
We have Rich Nuttall.
Here.
Peter Tantala. Here. Amber, I'm present. Keith Auerswald. Here. Joe Antonelli. Here. Ryan is no longer present. Panoni Traffic Engineer, we had absent. Tom Piacentino. Jim Ennis. Dominic. Jim Esposito.
All right. Our next item is our reorganization of chair and vice chair and secretary. So I need a nomination for chair of the board if we have anybody wants to nominate for chair.
I would like to nominate Rich.
I need a second.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, I don't have to move. Next item is a nomination for vice chair. Do we have any nominations for vice chair?
I'll nominate Tom.
I'll second.
If elected, I will not serve.
Oh, you don't want it?
Well, I'm not going to be here for a few months, so I don't know how that works.
You want to share?
It's up to you.
I'll take it, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be here for the next few months.
Jim?
He wants you to, they want you to hit your mic when you're talking. Yeah. So ultimately, that's fine as long as Rich is here at those meetings, because
Right.
the vice chair, the main role would be if Rich is not here, then you're going to run
He's
the
not
meeting.
here, then I run the meeting, right?
Yeah, so if Rich will be here, if not, we can determine at that time who will then take charge of the meeting.
Okay, fine.
There's been a motion and a second for Tom Piacentino for vice chair. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we need a nomination for our secretary. Any nominations? I'll nominate Amber Watson-Tardif again for our secretary. Oh, you seconded it already? Boy, that was quick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, our board stands the same, except for Ryan. We miss him dearly. So our next item is the approval of our minutes from our December 3rd meeting. Did anyone from the board see anything in the meeting, in the minutes, that they might have a question on that we should review at this point? Seeing that there's no question from the board on the minutes, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
I'll make a motion.
And a second? Second. All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye.
Well, I wasn't here.
Tom wasn't here, so he cannot vote on that. Okay, item number 4. Application for subdivision and land development for S/LD number 259 for a subdivision and land development to propose to construct one new single-family dwelling, existing dwelling to remain, on 830 Old Lincoln Highway, tax map parcel 22-013-213 in the R2 Residence Zoning District. There were 60 addresses notified. Is anyone here to represent this applicant?
Chair, may I just cut in for a second?
Sure thing.
That was a typo on the agenda. It's actually 2513, not 259. Yeah.
Okay.
Second, do you want to make an announcement just in case there were about the?
I will.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I forgot. You told me that 2 minutes ago,
It's all good.
and I forgot. Sir, before you start, I would just like to add that if anyone is here tonight for either the Take 5 oil change applicant or the Taco Bell applicant or the Corman Properties applicant, all three of them cases, were postponed tonight, so they will not be heard or discussed this evening. If anyone is here from the public that is here for them 3 particular cases. Okay, seeing none, sir, you have the floor.
All right, good evening. My name is Larry Byrne. I'm the engineer that prepared the plan for the applicant. With me tonight is Kevin Todd. He's the owner and going to be the builder. Just a brief overview. What they put up here is an aerial of the property in red. This is Old Lincoln Highway here, Brownsville Road, and this is Richardson. Humeville Road, over in the Langhorne section of the township.
See the pointer right there?
Oh,
See, it goes right on the screen.
oh, nice. High tech. I don't know how to use it, though.
Yeah, Mr. Byrne, the problem is that we want you to use that because it will not show up on the TV screens because we're televised now. So if you can use the other one, the one that
This
we were
one
handed.
here?
Yeah, the one that you were handed, I guess.
Yeah, but how does it work?
There you go.
All right, well, that's the property, and it doesn't want to move. Okay, well, anybody have any questions on the location of the property? As you can see, there's an existing dwelling, if I can get this there, right there, existing dwelling that fronts on Old Lincoln Highway. That's the existing house, and that's to remain. There's not going to be any changes at all to the existing house. It's already connected to public water and sewer and has access to Old Lincoln Highway. What we're doing is going to subdivide the property in half and then build one new house in this area. Most of the property is, it's all lawn, basically lawn area. There is some trees along Richardson Avenue. And the proposal would be to have that subdivided and build one new house and then connect it also to the public water and sewer provided by Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority. So the proposed house would take access off of Richardson, correct?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
I remember a case that came up to us years ago. Did this used to have like a silo on the property, like a doomsday bunker? There was a property right on the same street that came up to us years ago, probably 15 years ago. And I'm wondering if it was the same property, but they had to remove the doomsday bunker before we would do anything for that. I was just checking. It's literally either
Yeah, I'm not
on one or the other side of you. I know. Oh, there is one?
Well, it was, so I'm at 842, and my land was.
Oh,
Ma'am, if-
okay.
I don't have a problem with you talking and explaining, but for the benefit of the people at home, we do need you to talk into a microphone.
Yeah, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Thank you. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
No, it will confuse the people at home because they won't be able to hear her properly. So we just need to remember that moving forward since we are televised now.
Okay, so, yeah, no doomsday bunkers. All right, but that's just, like I said, I wanted to put up this aerial to show you the location and the property. It's, as I said, it's existing house and basically a lawn area that we're going to subdivide in half. Now, can I switch to the site plan, please? Okay, yeah. This is the proposed subdivision. It's very simple and straightforward. It's, if I can get this circle to work. I guess, no. Well, as you can see, this is the project. It's basically subdividing the property right in half. If the little circle thing would work. No. Okay. I was pushing the little button there.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I guess, well, that's switching it. I don't want to go to that plan. I wanted to go back to the first one. That's the existing feature.
Okay.
I-
Just put up a plan if you want.
Okay. Can I use the laser or
Go
no?
ahead for now.
Just for the presentation here, this is the proposed property line, and then we're going to have the one proposed house here, existing house to remain here, basically splitting the property right in half. Each lot's about 30,000 square feet. This one's a little smaller because it has some ultimate right-of-way that we're providing. So that's, that's basically the subdivision, the proposal. It's nothing real elaborate. It's minor subdivision, complies with all the zoning criteria and so forth. We did receive a couple letters. We have the township engineer's letter. As far as I'm concerned, everything's a will comply. Relatively minor comments. The traffic engineer had no comments at all. The fire marshal had no comments at all. Bucks County Planning Commission just had a comment about sewage facilities, which we know we have to do. It's also in the township engineer's letter. We did receive Environmental Advisory Council's letter this morning. Talked it over with my client, and basically they're not willing to do any of the comments in the letter as far as providing solar panels and geothermal heating and stuff like that. So and then to convert it to the stormwater management, which is going here to from a dry well to a rain garden. That's we're not proposing to do that either. So, with that, we just respectfully answer any questions you have, or if you, would just consider recommendation of a preliminary final plan approval so we can move the project forward.
Okay, thank you. Tommy, do you have any comments? Sorry. I'm still learning with the TV thing. Dominic, any comments?
Not too much to add. As Mr. Burns stated, our letter is rather minimal. We do have a couple of our standard comments in there, which it's my understanding that they will comply. One of the comments regarding the landscaping, it sounds like that they will in fact be able to salvage at least a few of those trees along the frontage of West Richardson Avenue. And then the waiver they are requesting is for providing sidewalk. If the township is open for that consideration, that is something that we would be agreeable to with a fee in lieu. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty straightforward on our end.
I would like to mention, though, there is existing curb along Richardson Avenue already, so there's curb there. And Old Lincoln Highway is obviously a state road, so we're not proposing any improvements along the state road, and the existing driveway is just going to remain for the existing house.
Okay. Matthew, any traffic? No traffic issues? Okay. Any questions from our members of the board? We'll start this year. We'll start with Amber first.
Not pending public feedback.
Okay. Joe?
No, I don't have any.
Tom, any comments?
You willing to do fee in lieu of for the sidewalks?
Yeah, I guess the fee in lieu of would need to be determined and agreed upon by the township and the owner. But the fee in lieu of would be provided.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
Keith, any questions?
Not at the moment.
Pete?
One quick question. You're proposing no change to any part of the property that will front onto Old Lincoln Highway?
Correct.
It's just the subdivision and building new on Richardson?
Correct.
I mean, it seems that all the zoning issues comply, correct? The only waiver you're asking for is from the sidewalk. The use seems commensurate with the surrounding uses, but pending any public comment, that's what I'm interested in hearing, if there's any public comment. Otherwise, it seems that it's not an issue for the township. But I would like to hear from the public. Thank you.
All right, and that's where we're at. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on behalf of this case? I'll have to go grab the list of people that signed up. Okay, Sherry Cohen, she here? That's not for that case? Okay. That's to Highland. Oh, Ariel and Patricia? You guys would like to come up and speak on behalf of this, or you signed up? So come on up.
Hello, everyone. We are Adiel and Patricia Matos. We're literally right next door. We're at 848 Old Lincoln Highway. This is our first time sort of going through this process. So, we are just curious about the process, how it will impact our quality of life while all of the traffic and the construction is happening. So I have a few questions. I mean, I'm grateful for the clarity that the property is going to be built more on the Richardson side rather than the Old Lincoln side, because one of the questions I had was, in thinking about the construction traffic, where will the entryway be? Will that be from Old Lincoln or will it be from Richardson?
It would be from, Richardson. It's not going to be any changes at all along Old Lincoln Highway. No
Okay.
traffic, no construction.
Okay. All right, perfect. Just again, recognizing that we are located on the same street as a local high school, and we get a lot of traffic there on a daily basis as is because of the high school traffic. So just being mindful of that. We're concerned about noise violations. What time can construction start? When is it set to end per day? Sort of like what is the length of timeline for this project, and when is it slated to begin? Right? We have two little kids at home, 8 and 10 years old. So just being mindful, right, of their experience throughout this process as well. Do you have any comments?
More than anything, is there more resources that we can basically obtain with regard to noise ordinances and things of that nature, so that
Jim can answer that for you.
So the noise ordinance is available online under the Middletown Township Code of Ordinances. The noise ordinance does dictate when construction can happen. It cannot happen anytime prior to 7, and it cannot continue to occur anytime after 5, especially for the outside work, because that's the decibel level kind of really gets raised with the outside work. That may change when they get further into the inside work, and it will be less noisy when they're actually doing the interior.
okay. Thank you. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.
I have a quick clarification. So you're saying, you mentioned that there's nothing going on out on Lincoln Highway, but you are cutting a driveway in? No. No?
Driveway's existing.
This driveway is existing right here? 'Cause it says proposed
Richardson.
driveway.
That's Richardson. This is Old Lincoln.
I got you, never mind.
Yeah, this is Richardson.
Well, this is the way it's written. So I had it upside down. My fault, okay. So the existing house is on Richardson, no,
On Old Lincoln.
on Lincoln, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm turned around. Yeah,
Actually, if you put it this way, the way it was, I think this is Old Lincoln heading towards the high school,
gotcha, okay.
and then this is Richardson.
Mr. Byrne, can you answer the questions, or Mr. Todd even, about the duration of the construction project?
Could you come up to the mic, please? Thank you.
Like I said, 3 to 4 months is what our projects typically take. The first 2 to 3 weeks is when you get all the noise and it's not going to be traffic jam. You might have 4 or 5 work trucks out there. The guys, trust me, don't want to work late. We're not allowed to work on Sundays, occasional Saturday, but for the most part, we work with everybody. You'll have my cell phone. You'll be able to reach out. Hey, Kev, can you address this? Or, we're easy to get along with, if that makes sense. Yep.
Thank you. So I'm going to go down this list just to make sure, and you can tell me if it pertains to this case or not. Is it Joe Lemus or Lemming? Are you with this case, sir? Yeah. Okay. You're up. Come on up.
Hi.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Sure. Joe Lemming. Penmanship, terrible.
That's okay.
241 Wheat Chief. So yeah, I'm not a neighbor. I am on the EAC. It's more of a bigger question and I spoke at the last meeting, rain garden versus dry well. And I realized that they're within their rights to do a dry well. Looking at the bigger picture, I think stormwater management has gone through a lot of iterations. We used to have low-flow concrete channels. We've used to mow the basins. Now we've moved on, we've progressed. I just feel in 30, 40 years, dry wells are going to be a problem. They're not going to be maintained, and they're just going to get clogged up over time. I'm not a landscape architect. I can speak from experience. I have my own rain garden that handles runoff from my roof, and I did some calculations today, and that will, a mature rain garden, it's about 3, 4 years old. It handles about 4 inches of rain per hour. So that's a very, it's a high interval storm, at least a 50-year storm that it can handle. So having the expense of a dry well versus a rain garden, I just feel, and I know, it's within their rights, it's within code. By right, they can do whatever they want. I think the bigger question is, I'd rather the township steer, get at the onset of this process and steer them towards another solution. A neighboring town, Princeton, over in New Jersey, they actually do this. They do say that in their code, you can't just default to a dry well. You have to prove to the township engineer that these other solutions, a rain garden and other green stormwater infrastructure will not work in that case. So this place they're proposing a 20 by 20 dry well. That's plenty of room for a rain garden. I'm not sure of the setback from the dry well where they will be prevented from planting trees in the future. So no matter what side of the aisle you're on, summers are getting hotter, storms are getting more intense, and maybe this homeowner will want to plant a tree down the road for some shade in their backyard, but they're going to be locked out of that. So that's basically it.
So I just want to try to address that a little bit. So right now, this is what the regulations and the ordinance say. So this might be more of a question for, or getting together and discussing with us, the township engineer, the township manager, and ultimately the township supervisors, if we want to incorporate that into the stormwater management ordinance. So that's something that maybe we'll reach out to the EAC and start having those discussions if we need to look at possibly making those revisions.
Yeah, I'm still learning how the process works. Yep. I didn't know if...
Right now, they're complying with what our ordinances
Sure,
say.
right.
So it's we can't force it right now, but if that's something that we might want to look at and get more research, whether we do want to change it or not, we'll have those discussions internally and we'll invite the EAC to discuss that with us.
No, they have to do a waiver for the sidewalks. Is that kind of the same thing? Like you can give a waiver, I feel like engineering's always, you can pick and choose. There's a lot of options
Well,
to do the same thing.
the waivers is more of whether they meet some sort of, whether it is practical or sort of hardship, not quite a variance hardship. The reason for the waiver in this instance that they're requesting, and I'll let them speak while they're granting it, no one else on that road has sidewalks.
Yep.
So it'd be sidewalks to nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's
totally
not practical to make them do the sidewalks, but they'll pay a fee in lieu of the sidewalks that'll go into a fund that the township can use for other road improvements or sidewalk improvements throughout the township.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. See if I get this right. April Lee, is it Ahern? Did I say that right? Correct. Oh. Every now and then I hit a home run.
So I just wanted to echo what my neighbor said about just construction and the noise. So I think that has been addressed, so nothing more to offer.
What? Oh, I got it. She's 842 Old Lincoln Highway. Correct. Yep. Sorry about that. If this one is correct, Bill Hellstrom? Nothing to add? Okay. All right then. I went down, other than the first lady I mentioned and the next lady are both for the Rising Star Daycare, and there's another person for the Rising Star Daycare. Is there anybody else here that wants to speak on behalf of this that didn't sign up? You come on up. Just have to state your name and address, sir, and I'll fill it out here in the paperwork.
My name's David Ross. I live on West Richardson.
Excuse me, can you spell your last name?
ROSS.
Oh, okay.
If you knew who made the flag, it's easy to spell. I live on West Richardson. Just to make everyone aware, West Richardson is primarily an undedicated stone road. The proposed house is going on a section that does have curbs. Curbs end at my house. They don't maintain the road. The township doesn't maintain the road. We maintain the road. They maintain the paved portion down below where the proposed house is going. I don't have any objection to the house. I would prefer to see them take those trees down because they're old decaying trees. And every time there's a windstorm, one of the branches comes down and cuts the electric out. And there's only 8 of us back there on the electric and try to get PECO to act for 8 people. So
I agree.
I would like to see the trees come out. That's one thing that I would like to see, most of those old aging trees come out of that property. My biggest concern becomes we're running out of lots on West Richardson. So does the township have any long-term plans or what they're going to do with West Richardson? They're going to develop that street. They're going to make the next people to come in. There's only 3 lots left there. So, and from a storm water management, we have flooding problem at the end of West Richardson and Huneville Avenue, or Huneville Road. It puddles down there. We had one more house. I understand, because I've done development before, about the retention of the roof water, retaining on the lot, but there's a driveway. We're going to add to that problem. What are we going to do about perhaps anything we're going to do to maintain that runoff that comes off that lot? That lot flows a lot of water. I know because I've been there for 15 years, and I see it every time it rains, all the water flowing off that lot, because it comes from Old Lincoln Highway down across there. So that's just the way that it runs out that way. So they're my concerns, but I don't object to the project, so.
Okay.
Just have some concerns about it. All right, thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this before I move to the next item? Anybody else here? Everybody else here is for the Rising Star Daycare, I presume, then? All right. At this point, if we have no other questions, is there any more questions possibly from the board? Follow-up questions or anything like that? Then, if you could give me 1 minute to find my papers. Thank you, Tom.
That's why I'm here.
And then at this point, I'm going to ask for a recommendation of approval for S/LD 2513, application proposing 2-lot subdivision and the construction of a single-family dwelling at 830 Old Lincoln Highway, Langhorne, PA, 19047. Bucks County Tax Map Parcel 22-013-213 is the property. Recommendation is based on the plan entitled Plan of Minor Subdivision, 830 Old Lincoln Highway, made for Judith Todd, comprising 4 sheets and dated November 11th, 2025. Plan prepared by Lawrence J. Byrne, P.E., and Edmund A. Chadro, P.L.S. of Eastern Chadro Associates Incorporated of Warminster, PA. Recommendation is further based upon the compliance with the comments provided in the section below. Comment A, January 2nd, 2026 letter from Isaac E. Kessler, P.E. of Remington Vernick Engineers, which is Middletown Township's engineer. Item B, a December 30th letter from Matthew D. Johnston, P.E. of Pannoni Associates Incorporated. They are Middletown Township's traffic and transportation engineer. Item C, December 2nd, 2025 review letter from the Bucks County Planning Commission. Item D, January 6th, 2026 letter from the Middletown Township Environmental Advisory Council. Item E, December 30th, 2025 letter from Alan Welsh, Middletown Township Fire Marshal. And item F, a waiver from section 440-419 of the Middletown Township Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance. Waiver is requested to require no sidewalks along Old Lincoln Highway and West Richardson Avenue. Applicant shall pay a fee in lieu of sidewalks to the township.
Question?
Sure thing.
Interrupt your motion, but the item D about the environmental council, we don't agree to everything in that letter, any of it actually.
Okay.
So
We already mentioned that when we had the discussion.
I heard that.
may I add, the will comply is to specific sections that are required in codes. The EAC is an advisory recommendation body, so even if it's a will comply, they don't necessarily have to comply to a specific requirement that's stated in their letter.
Are you following that? Did you?
Yes, I just wanted to make it clear that we're not going to change this dry well to a rain garden. We're not going to use geothermal heating. We're not going to provide solar panels.
Right, and that's not in the township's ordinances anyway, so, yeah,
It's
we got
recommendation
that.
of the recommendation, and I just want to make sure that everyone's clear. We're not agreeing to that.
Yeah, I think kind of standard for us to comprehend that, but yeah, we get it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on that note then, I will ask for a vote, a motion to approve. Is there any motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any opposed? Hearing none? You're good to go, sir. Thank you.
Shovel on the ground.
Okay, our next item. Item S/LD 25-1, Zoya Feldman, applicant owner, requesting to add a small addition to the existing Rising Star Daycare and reconfigure the existing parking lot at 1414 Highland Avenue, Langhorne, PA 19047, tax map parcel 22-016-183 in the R2 residential zoning district. 32 residents were notified. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening. Happy New Year.
Happy New
My name
Year.
is Chelsea Crocker Jackman. I'm here tonight. I'm from Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Shall I wait for the presentation to be pulled up, Maddie? Thank you. That's okay. Thank you.
Is there like commercials in this whole thing, Jim?
Just the presentation. They need to put it up. I was going to say, I can get started, give a little background, sure.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. If you want.
Yeah, no problem.
We do have
Oh,
your plan
good.
here. We can see everything, so.
Excellent, thank you. So I'm here tonight on behalf of Rising Star Daycare. The applicant is Zoya Feldman. To my left is her daughter. This is Sherry Cohen. She's the director of Rising Star Daycare. To my right is the project engineer Nick Rose. So we're here tonight requesting preliminary and final land development approval for this project, which is a 1,706, oh, thank you very much. Yeah, beautiful. Awesome, okay. 1,706 square foot addition to the existing daycare that's on the property. This is the Google Earth view from the front. This is an aerial over here. My pointer's kind of slow. There we go. So this may look familiar to you. Maddie, if you could go to the next slide, please. We were here back in May of last year, seeking approval from this board, and then a week later went to the supervisors and received unanimous approval for land development. Well, after that occurred, unfortunately learned that as an implication of the second floor addition, which if we're having a little tough going on. Okay. Well, hopefully you remember that the last time we were here, there was a second floor addition, and that would have required the applicant to outfit the entire building with sprinklers, which was they were incapable of doing in a cost-effective way. And so they sort of revamped the plan. We're here tonight for an amended land development with a small, I'll say, addition towards the rear of the property. And this is on 1.17 acres in the R2 district. So it fronts Highland Avenue, also has frontage on Sunflower Avenue. So the main structure will remain unchanged, and again, it's just an addition towards the rear. We received relief at the zoning hearing board for 2 special exceptions to allow the expansion of non-conforming use on the property and to continue operating a daycare in the building. So if you wouldn't mind, I know we have a hard copy, just to, yeah, if you wouldn't mind grabbing the plan, and I'm gonna get my good laser pointer. Would it be okay if we just put it right here on the chair to see?
We have it, we have it right here also.
Oh, beautiful, okay.
You need it, Amber?
Good.
Yeah, so we can see, we can
Excellent.
follow you at least.
So as it was about 9 months ago, we're reducing the net impervious surface on the property and otherwise reconfiguring the existing parking lot to create additional spaces and to be ADA compliant as well. So the development would result in the expanded daycare, more efficient parking on the property, and a circulation pattern that will allow the parents to more efficiently drop off their children, pick them up, and move through the building parking lot a little easier. So when we were back here in May, we requested 3 waivers. We're asking ratification of those 3 waivers again tonight. And that is to allow 1 row of off-street parking spaces to exceed 12 spaces. We have 14, and that's section 440-421 E1. We are seeking ratification of 440-421 E1, which is to not provide a planter bed at the western end of the 14-car parking row at the parking lot entrance. And finally, 440-421H, to not provide 1 tree of 1.5-inch minimum caliper for every 6 parking spaces in a single row and 12 parking spaces in a double row. So I'm going to take 90 seconds and ask Mr. Rose to go through the plan. Anything that I miss from a bird's eye view, obviously they have the plan in front of them, but anything that you want to point out real quick, and I'll hold up the board for you.
Oh, here it goes. It's up.
Oh, we got it.
Back to their laser pointer. Here you go.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, yeah, as was noted, there really isn't a whole lot of change from what you saw last time, just changing to a 1-story addition. The parking is essentially the same. Because of the location of the addition, there is a property behind it that there was some concern expressed in your engineer's letter about drainage there, so we are gonna make sure we direct that flow towards Highland Avenue rather than towards that neighbor. Other than that, I believe there was 1 additional waiver we were possibly looking for the lighting, because we understand there's been concern from neighbors about the amount of lighting in the area. So we were hoping to just light it for a portion of the property so that it doesn't expand onto the neighbors' properties. So if that is a waiver, we'd like to request that as well. Other than that, the plan is essentially the same as what you saw before.
And with a little more specificity, and I'll take the board's direction on this, I'll just go through the 3 letters received from Remington Burdick, Pannoni, and from the fire marshal, if that's okay. I'll begin with the fire marshal's letter, which indicates that should the property have 12,000 square feet or more, that it'd be required to be outfitted with a sprinkler system. There were conversations with Fire Marshal Walsh, and he indicated that so long as we're able to provide those numbers that demonstrate it is not more than 12,000 square feet, Mr. Rose has those and can provide them, that would not be one of the requirements. So we will comply with the fact that we will come in under that 12,000 square feet. As it relates to Remington Burdick's letter dated January 5th of this year, again, I note many of them are items satisfied. Everything is a will comply with the exception of the ratification of the previously requested waivers. I do note that there are 3 new comments, and those are on the second to last page. So on 37 and 38, the new comments, those are will complies. I'm starting from the bottom up. For 36, the new comment being clarify where the stormwater runoff from the proposed addition is being drained to and provide any details necessary. So that's what Mr. Rose was just commenting on, that what is caught from the roof drains from the new addition will be taken towards Avenue B and Highland, so as not towards the neighbor's property that was in concern. And then I just want to point out for number 35, with regards to that additional waiver that we're seeking. So we could comply with the necessary lighting that is indicated here. However, it's our understanding that it was the neighbors encouraging and urging that we reduce the lighting for light pollution. So my understanding is that was discussed with Remington Burnick, and that it would be okay to do it that way, essentially because our neighbors, the community, that's what they'd like to see. So we're seeking that waiver sort of on their behalf. And then I think that's all I have by way of this particular letter. And then as it relates to Pannoni's letter, one of the, so everything is a will comply here, but I do want to point out number 5. So I understand that, let me get the good laser pointer. Here we go. So there were some discussions back in, if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, this is the old plan, sorry. There we go. So there were some discussions back in May, as I understand, with regards to a Pico pole. And again, my laser pointers. We're really struggling here. Does this work? Is that seen on TV? Okay, so no, it's not. Anyway, the bottom where it says Sunflower Avenue, if you look up, right where it says proposed curb, right above it, very small, as it moves towards the right, plan right, there are some angles, we'll call it cuts into that curb that are not real smooth. And so it is our intention to smooth those out to make that look a little bit nicer. And I also want to point out that to the left of it, where it indicates a planter, again, a prior issue that is really going to be rectified by this new plan is the ingress egress to allow a little bit more circulation while parents are dropping children off and picking them up. That planter will be, I'm going to use the word grassified. We're going to put more grass in it. We're going to buff it up. We're going to make it bigger so that people understand that this one very direct way in and one very direct way out with appropriate signage. And hopefully that helps what was the previous concern. So improving the property, but also improving what might be something that neighbors and people who were driving on that road had to deal with with regards to traffic. So I think that those are the few things that we wanted to point out. I have Nick to my right, who can answer any of the engineering questions, and then Ms. Cohen to my left, she is the director. Any day-to-day or operational questions of the daycare, she can answer. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Dominic?
Just to clarify the last thing you mentioned about the planter, were you saying you are proposing to extend that to the Sunflower Avenue, I guess, edge of pavement, we'll call it? I believe that was a comment in both our letter and the traffic engineer's letter.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, just because that was the last thing you mentioned, I figured I'd ask that
I'm
first.
sorry if I did a bad job explaining it.
No, as mentioned, we did have a couple additional comments from our last review with the new layout, with the addition being the first floor addition. I did speak with Mr. Rose, and he did clarify about the roof drain runoff and how that's going to be directed away from the properties. The other two new comments are will complies. And then regarding the lighting, that is a comment in our letter. They are not showing the minimum 1-foot candle, which is required. Understanding that this is a daycare and they work during the day, there shouldn't be anybody in there at night. Considering the neighbors, that if that has to be a partial waiver, we would have no objection to that.
On item 36, clarify where the stormwater runoff proposed, what you just spoke about. Does he have to add that to the plans?
Yeah, that's something we would have him
Okay.
add to a revised set of plans.
Okay. Matt, you have anything? I know, I was looking at your list here with signage and everything.
Yeah, we had a communication with their engineer this afternoon, and he indicated the will comply, and their attorneys indicated the same thing, so
with the one-way signs going in and going out.
Sorry, Matt.
Come on up, Matt.
Thank you. Yeah, we had conversations with the engineer this afternoon, and he indicated all of our comments were will complies, and that's what they said here tonight, so we're satisfied with that.
Okay, thank you. All right, questions from the board. We'll start with Pete.
Just a few things, and I'll be brief. I remember when this came through before. You said it was in May. My two concerns at that time with this plan were, firstly, that you have a playground, and I was concerned because I didn't see at the time that you had, from the traffic on Sunflower Ave, a way to protect from cars going in, bollards, a fence, curbing, something of that nature. At the time, you indicated, the applicant indicated that you would have bollards and fencing there. Is that still the case? I see a fence, but will there be bollards or something more substantial to keep traffic from hopping that into the playground?
The consensus behind me, there are bollards currently there now, and there's a chain link fence.
And that'll all remain?
Yes.
Okay. And then my other concern at the time, and wait, before I get to that, just remind me, your proposal proposes no change in the hours of operation?
No change.
How about in your enrollment?
Enrollment meaning how many extra children we're
Yes,
enrolling?
correct.
Well, we are going to have extra space, so that was the intention to enroll. more
Are you
children.
doubling? Are you
No,
adding?
we're not doubling. I think it's maybe 25,
25% or so more? Okay.
25 kids.
But same hours? Okay.
Yeah, same hours.
It appears that you don't need relief. You're proposing less impervious than what you have now. You don't need relief for parking, amount of parking. Is that correct? Was that right, Dominic?
No parking.
They comply with parking.
Yep.
Okay. Less pervious. You made a statement that the runoff, stormwater runoff from the addition will be conveyed to Avenue B. To the surface of Avenue B or to some sewer that's in Avenue B, or how will that work?
Well, right now it does go that way generally on the surface, and we
Yeah.
would just recreate that same pattern. So eventually it would be on the surface.
It
yes.
doesn't go to a sewer or anything?
We would not try to get all
Same-
the way down to a storm.
Same point of discharge?
Yes.
Okay. And then my other big concern at the time, which is the concern that remains for me, typically the issue that daycare centers have is the queuing of traffic, drop-off, pickup, cars lining the neighborhood, that sort of thing. How can you convince us that's not an issue? That won't be an issue? Is it an issue currently?
So we don't have an issue currently.
Okay.
I know
Your
that
neighbors
some of the neighbors have an issue with the other neighbors that are doing drop-offs and pickups for the bus stop in front of our property.
Having nothing to do with you?
Nothing to do with our children or
Okay.
people bringing children into our facility.
Okay.
It's the neighborhood families.
It's presumed that this will enhance that scenario.
Right. So, no, it's not going to enhance it because our drop-off and pickup for our children at the facility is going to be almost like a roundabout. Parents aren't going to be parking. They're going to be dropping off and then continuing out.
But when I say enhance, it's going to better that scenario.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's all I have.
For the benefit, yes.
Yeah.
Keith?
No, I don't have anything right now, no.
Tom?
Yes, I have a question. Would you like to address, after I'm done my questions, if you could address the EAC report? Again, about the electric pole. I remember us talking at length about this at the last time we talked about this. So is it getting moved out of the way, or it's getting relocated? I know there was a talk about, they didn't know if they could afford to move it, or whether PICO wanted to do it, or...
I can address both of those. The second one you just asked, the pole is going to stay where it is. What we did was we widened the sidewalk a little
On
bit.
the sidewalk, okay.
So that we don't need that section of the sidewalk. So yes, it will not be moved, but it doesn't have
One
to.
other thing before you go to the EAC was, how late do you stay open?
6:30.
6:30.
6:30, okay. Because I know you're talking about having less light, but at 6:30 it's still dark out. So I understand. I know that the neighbors are looking for less lighting.
We do have lighting now. it's on a timer.
And you adjust it accordingly or
We
whatever?
adjust it accordingly to, the time change and weather and everything like that. So by, I believe it's like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, it usually shuts off. Anything that's like, the main lighting, of course, there's the street lighting that is lit. I know the township had, I think, questions with regards to the lighting at the park, but I mean, that kind of isn't us. And we did try to add some extra lighting, like around where the garage is, on the parking lot, so that it is more visible, but we have everything on a timer, so it shouldn't have any kind of problems with the neighbors.
Is lighting under your realm?
They are proposing lighting via a wall-mounted light. The comment was that it's not meeting the minimum 1-foot candle requirements per the ordinance. However, there is lighting in the parking lot. It's not meeting that threshold in the ordinance.
Right.
That's why it indicated, again, understanding that it is the daycare and they operate during the day, and with the consideration of the neighbors that, we would have no objection to a partial waiver. But because while it doesn't meet that minimum in the ordinance, there still is some lighting out there.
So that's for on the building lighting in the parking lot. I remember in the past, we had a problem with lighting, and they installed caps over top of the lights to help bring the light straight down instead of having it flare out. Would that be useful here, or am I barking up the wrong telephone pole?
I remember that, Tom.
I don't
We were
believe there's a
diffusing
detail
them.
for the actual.
For diffusing the light,
wall-mounted
yeah.
light.
Actually, they have diffusers or whatever. For their, not the wall lights, but the parking lot lights.
Sorry if I could jump in. Yeah, there actually is a light diagram on there. The light on the wall will not be shielded because there's already a concern about the light not spreading far enough. So we want it to spread at least a little bit. You can see it goes about 2/3 away across the parking lot. So we don't want to shield it any more than that, but we just don't want to have it.
I was talking more like
farther than that.
around the parking lot kind of thing.
Correct.
When you're getting out to the borders.
Yeah, most
Not
of the
necessarily
parking
the
lot will
building
actually
itself.
comply. It's just the outer extremity that would not have that exact 1-foot candle.
Okay.
And just to that end, I just asked Ms. Cohen, most of the kids are picked up, she indicated, by 5:30. So you're, in terms of using the very far reaches of that property, the idea would
It's
be.
like right now and not, in a couple of weeks, it'll be different, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so and then the last thing was the EAC report.
And we're in receipt of that. I'll just state, generally speaking, we understand the recommendation. It's their intention to be environmentally conscious and to follow as much of the recommendations as possible. They are independently owned. This isn't a franchise daycare. She's the director. It's her parents that own it. And so understand the intent of the EIC, but go ahead.
Yeah, in that letter, their first comment was just to make sure we preserve that wooded area to the left of the plan, which we are going to do. We're not proposing any disturbance of that area. The other two had to do with the building, and this is an existing building, so we wouldn't retrofit it. But the first comment is being addressed. We are not impacting that woods.
And the number 2 was there's going to be 7 mature trees currently on the property will be removed for construction, and are you going to replace them?
I believe you're looking at the letter for the last.
Yeah, I don't think that's our letter.
Nothing's being removed.
Oh, God. I'll go home now.
You got me there.
Keep getting all these letters mixed up. Sorry.
Way to go, Tom. So I only have the one question, which actually I was talking about earlier. That plan on this, for your proposed sidewalk, shows where the sidewalk's going across and sort of dips. And I think we spoke, Matt, about having them change that to a straight line. But now I look at the plan that's in front of us, and it is a straight line. So I'm a little confused on which one is the proper drawing.
It's not quite straight,
That one.
that one.
But the one we're looking at here
Did you
is,
revise the plan?
is quite straight. Are we looking at the same plan?
Two little angles above the word avenue. They're not very definitive, so it looks somewhat straight, but they're just two little angles there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
Yes,
a big change.
now,
but-
now that we look at the plan in more in detail, so are we proposing that they straighten that dip out to make it one straight curb? And that was brought up to them and they were in agreement with it? Okay, which is going to encompass the telephone pole that was basically in the middle of the street at one point.
It's actually to the south of the pole, but yes, it's in that area.
Right. I have nothing else. Joe?
No, my question was answered.
Amber?
Nope.
Okay. At this point, is there anybody from the public? So Sherry, at this point, you signed the paper, but you're not going to speak on behalf, right? And so the next person that signed up was Galma Alexev. She's not speaking either. All right then, I will go down to Zach Smith. Is Zach Smith here? Can you state your name and address, sir?
Zach Smith, 1325 Highland Avenue. I'm right there on Avenue B. I think through this conversation, my only concern is drain water going on to Avenue B because it already pools at the end and there's no sewer anywhere at the end there, so it just sits in my yard. So if there's any way to push it towards Highland as opposed to off onto Avenue B. Because there's no, on the top side of Avenue B in this drawing, there's no curb or anything, it just slopes into my yard.
Do you want to answer that, sir?
Yes, just to say, we can do that. Yes, we'll work with your engineer to make sure we take care of that.
Good with that, Dominic? Okay. Anything else, sir?
I'm good.
Okay.
That's all.
Is there, I went through the list of signups, but is there anyone else here that didn't sign up that would like to speak on behalf of this case? Come on up, sir. And state your name and address, please.
Absolutely. It's Matt Helms, 838 Sunflower Avenue.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay,
Feel free.
great. How many employees does the daycare have?
That would be a question that she could answer behind you. We don't know that.
So employees may be on a daily basis about 20, 23.
Okay, that makes sense. How many parking spots will they have total when everything's said and done?
It's 32.
32, so
We're
that's...
trying to count that right now.
Right.
I mean, Dominic had looked at that prior, so.
32 is correct.
32?
32, okay, all right. And so right now, they have 4 parking spots that are available after employee parking. So after everybody drops off about 10 o'clock in the morning or so, everything dies down. It's not a mess with traffic, cars coming in and out. And you kind of have a good idea of who's staying there all day long. They're the staff. So with an additional 25 kids, and you have 6 extra parking spots, was it 6? Math is not my thing. I don't know if it really works. I just can't see it being any better if you're, what do you have, about 100 kids that go there? 100 kids? Okay. So, I don't know, another 25 kids with only an extra like 6 parking spots. And everything happens within like a 2-hour time, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at the end of the day. That's when my neighborhood's a mess with traffic. I just don't see it. Unless you do something with the employees to carpool, would be the only suggestion. I have no problem with the expansion, but I do have a problem with the traffic.
I just want to clarify, you said it was going to be a drop-off, right? A circle, loop. So my understanding is that the kids would get dropped by their parents in a carload and keep going.
And you have
And
a
not
line
stay in
down
park.
right, and you have a line down the street, down Highland Avenue, dropping off. So instead of, right now, the way that it works is everybody comes in one time, everybody backs up at the same time. It's a real mess. And so now you're going to have one person stop and hold up all the traffic that's going to come out the parking lot, down Sunflower, down Highland. until that one person, the bottleneck, drops off, and then a few minutes goes by, and they usually, this parents walk in, so it's not like you just open up the car door, say, get out, and you move on. It's not like Wendy's. I just see it backing up into Highland Avenue. I think the idea is a good idea to have a drop-off, but it's not efficient. There's no pull-off space where you can pull out of the way maybe and let the next person go around. I can see people parking on my lawn, dropping off because they can't wait. They're running late for work. Everybody in the morning, everybody drives so fast around the neighborhood because everybody has to get their kid to daycare so they can make it to work on time. I don't know. Just not a good. As a resident of 27 years living there and seeing what happens every single day, it's just it can't get any. It's not going to make things any better, is what I'm saying. That's all that I have to say.
Thank you.
I understand your concerns. And
You have to come up to the
I know-
mic, ma'am.
I understand his concerns, but as far as I've seen, and as of right now, the way our daycare has been running, I've never seen anybody just, park on somebody's lawn or stay on the street. And our drop-off and pickup, we are going to have aides outside getting the children from the car. The parents are not going to be getting out of the car and leaving their car idled while they walk their child in. We will have attendants out there to take, just like at other schools, they have attendants out there to pick up and drop off quicker. And we don't have a specific time like at elementary schools where you have to drop off at a specific time. We have people that are dropping off and picking up at various times of the day. Drop off starts at like maybe 7 a.m. And it kind of dies down around 11. And then again, pickup starts around about 3:30 and then it ends at 6:30. So it's not like, all 125 parents are coming all at one time to pick up or drop off. And if it does, show a problem where it's going onto the street, which I don't propose it being like that because it is such a big loop that's going to be there in the center of the parking lot. It's not going to be the way it is now. It's gonna be in the parking lot, and the spaces aren't going to be the same. It's going to be like a loop going through.
Right. No, I
So they're
understand.
not. We don't want to clutter up the neighborhood. We don't want to clutter up the streets. We've been even when it comes time for like our holiday shows and we have parents coming, we started breaking it up so that we don't have everybody all at once coming. We started bringing parents in different times, different days, and spreading it throughout the week instead of all at once. So they don't park in front of people's properties and disturb the neighbors. So we do try to work with the neighbors on that.
Your last holiday party, somebody was in my driveway. We had to go across the street, track down the owner, and tell them, get out of my.
Can you get closer to the microphone, sir?
The last holiday party, I did have somebody in my driveway leaving to work. There was a white minivan in my driveway. It's the only time it's ever happened, but it's because holiday party, you get all the kids there at one time. They stay there for a few hours, and you'll find parking all over the place in front of my mailbox. I don't have a problem in the front of my mailbox or the side of my house. You're parking in the middle of the street, that's a police matter, but in my driveway, that was disconcerting. If you have a number of cars in the roundabout and everybody leaves their car to take their kid into the daycare, or maybe one staff member is bringing kids in, you still have all the other cars waiting for that staff member to come out and grab a child to bring them into the building. When they bring these children in the building, I don't know how efficiently it would work. I would tend to see, having two kids of my own that are all grown adults, I know it's not that easy, getting them out of the car seat, grabbing their book bag, grabbing their bottle. It takes time. It's not efficient.
Are you going to have a policy like now with your new parking lot and the way that traffic's going to flow that they couldn't drop off their child until they sort of got to the front door or the loading in area? Like, are you going to let your
So the point
parents
was-
know that they can't pull over like by this gentleman's property and run with their child across the sidewalk and in to drop their kid off? Like,
Yeah.
is there
I
going to be a
mean,
new
it wouldn't
policy
be
enforced for
One
that?
person coming and taking from the car and then walking in. We would have several attendants that are, coming in and taking from the car.
But it all will
Especially
be,
at the busy
they all will be
times.
dropped off inside the parking lot area.
Right.
As shown on your plan,
And
right where
parents are
your
not to
two.
get out of their car. They're not to, leave their car idled. They're to stay in their car. The car shouldn't even be in park, in my opinion. They should be stopped. The attendant comes out, takes the child, brings the child inside. Next attendant comes, gets the next child. So we're planning on having, a couple attendants, coming in and out and helping with that traffic when it's a busy time. When it's slow time, I don't really see it being that much of a problem.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment really quick. That was part of when we said it would improve. That is part of this. That's not what's happening now. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Matt.
Matt. And I just leaned over and said to Sherry, can you exchange contact information? So if somebody ever does that, you shouldn't have to go over. She runs the school. She can figure out whose car it is and say, get out of his driveway. You can't be doing that. So she wants to be a good neighbor to you. That's so maybe afterwards you guys can connect.
Sure. You had brought up that you have 25 employees now?
Well,
How ma-
that are usually at once, we have about 20 to 24 a
Okay,
day.
and do you intend to get more with the other 25 children?
Maybe up to 5, depending on how many children are going to be in the facility, because we have to keep up to ratio with how many children for how
understand,
many
right, yeah.
teachers.
Okay, because the reason I'm bringing that up, because he mentioned before, there's only 4 open spots right now. How many open spots are you going to have if you get more employees there now with more children?
If I could comment that the lowest ratio would be the infant room, and correct me if I'm wrong, which is a 4-to-1 ratio. So let's say she only gets babies, then it would be at max 5 employees if you're being cost efficient in terms of employees, but meaning she'd be required to hire at max 5 employees. That's all I just want to.
It comes back to parking more than not how many employees you have or the ratios. Like he had mentioned right now, there's 4 spots open. So now,
We have 36 spots? Am I?
They're adding 6 spots though.
I can.
Yeah, it seems like there would be.
okay, so you're
Was
adding
it 6 spots or 4 spots?
There's 32 spots proposed, and right now there are 24 existing, so they're adding eight spaces.
8 spaces,
spaces,
okay.
Fine.
I apologize, that there's 25 existing. So they're adding 7 spaces.
You're adding 7 spaces and hopefully 5 more.
So 7 spaces, and if she's, and she has to hire 5, it would be, if she were to get 25 babies,
At least 2 spaces left, right?
And again, in worst case scenario, 25 babies decide to join the daycare as opposed to something like a 4-year-old who has a much higher ratio, meaning she wouldn't have to hire more people. That's all. Just commenting on how this doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem, but understand the concern.
I think we thought at first there was only 4 available spaces, and then we're thinking 5 more employees, you're out of parking. But now that that's been clarified, is there any other, go ahead, Tom. You got, oh, is there any more comments from the board? Is there anybody else from the public who would like to speak on this, or? Okay, then at that point, I'm going to divert to a recommendation of approval. Jim, this one was the one with amended? This is amended, okay. Recommendation of approval for amended final land development of S/LD number 25-1. Application proposing an expansion to the existing daycare facility and reconfiguration of existing parking lot at 1414 Highland Avenue, Langhorne, PA, 19047. Bucks County Tax Map Parcel 22-16-083. Recommendation is based on plan entitled Land Development Plan for 1411 Highland Ave, comprising 3 sheets and dated August 15, 2024, and last revised October 20th, 2025. Plan is prepared by Nicholas T. Rose, P.E. of Protract Engineering Incorporated of Hatboro, PA. Recommendation is further based on compliance with the comments provided in the list. Comment A, January 5th, 2026 letter from Isaac E. Kessler, P.E. of Remington and Vernick Engineers, which is Middletown Township's engineer. Item B, a December 30th, 2025 letter from Matthew D. Johnston, P.E. of Pannoni Associates Incorporated, who are Middletown Township's traffic and transportation engineers. Item C, December 30th, 2025 letter from Alan Walsh, the Middletown Township Fire Marshal. Item D, January 6, 2026 letter from the Middletown Township Environmental Advisory Council. And item E, applicant will pay a fee in lieu for required tree plantings. At this point, I ask for a motion to approve. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? Keith, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Nope. At this point?
Thank you. Have a good night.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, as soon as I can find, oh, I found it that fast. My agenda paperwork, review of the zoning hearing board advertisement. Looks like you got a long list there, Jim, for zoning.
Yes, Chair. And I believe we actually even covered some of these but there was a lot of continuances from the December zoning hearing board. So some of these that we already covered are now carried over into January. I believe during the December meeting, I drew your attention to Appeal 2570 because that would result in a land development if it is granted by the zoning hearing board, because it is a construction of an office building. And then that might only be the only one that would result, yes, that would result in a land development if granted by the zoning hearing board. So if that is granted, you would most likely eventually see that in front of you for land development.
Is that really an office building?
It is right now a warehouse slash office
It seems
building.
like we had these discussions in the past, but they're not making office buildings anymore.
Yeah, so it is office operations for already existing operations at that
They're there.
property. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, yep.
So they're expanding the warehouse.
So yeah, so there's already a fairly large building on the property. They're building another building for, I believe, offices that would be in combination to the warehouse operations that are there. Or I forget if it's not a warehouse, it's some light industrial use that is allowed in that area of the light manufacturing zoning. Sorry.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, it's
Not a data center.
It's not a data center. Yeah.
It's continued from December 10th. So that's an ongoing,
That's right. Yeah.
okay. They're asking for some big relief on some things with the parking spaces and setbacks, I guess, side yard setback. No, not the side yard, but the front yard setback.
And the side setbacks.
Yeah, front is pretty big, 25 feet.
And 15% more
Yeah.
impervious. I mean, it's some serious
Oh yeah, yeah.
asks.
Yeah. So, again, I don't know if the zoning hearing board will grant it or not. It's always up to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was the only one that would pertain to us. Then at this point, is there any other business to come before this board this evening? Then at that point, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I was waiting. That was a real long pause in the adjourned motion there. Is there a second to adjourn? Second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.